What up, sports world? Saul Canelo versus Sergey Kovalev has a rehydration clause in the contract. Saul Canelo Alvarez will have a weight handicap in the form of a rehydration clause for his title challenge against WBO light heavyweight champion Sergey Kovalev this Saturday night. According to Dan Rafael, both fighters must weigh in on Saturday morning for a secondary weight check, and neither fighter can go above 185 pounds. When the Canelo Alvarez fight was first announced, boxing fans were impressed that Canelo had agreed to fight Sergey Kovalev without a catchweight to try and weaken him to gain an advantage. But what the fans didn't know was there's a rehydration clause which can be just as draining for the larger fighter than a catchweight handicap. Knowing that Canelo would be getting a strength draining weight handicap for the fight is difficult to get him the same amount of credit that he previously would have getting when he agreed to fight Sergey Kovalev. According to ESPN, there's a severe financial penalty for Canelo and Kovalev if they come in over the 185-pound weight limit for Saturday morning weigh-in check. It would be interesting to know how big the weight penalty is for the fight. Obviously, the rehydration clause benefits Saul Canelo Alvarez, who's bringing in a record of 52 wins, 1 loss, and 2 draws, and 35 knockouts, because he's moving up in weight to 2 weight divisions to challenge the 36-year-old Sergey Kovalev for his WBO 175-pound title. Kovalev was saying recently that that he doesn't expect his weight to be above 185 on the night of the fight, so the rehydration clause might not bother him. Canelo isn't new to catch weights and rehydration clauses because he had a rehydration clause in the last fight against Daniel Jacobs last May. According to Daniel Jacobs paid the fine in order to rehydrate fully, and yet he still lost the fight. Canelo is also said to have had a rehydration clause for his title fight challenge against WBA regular super middleweight champion Rocky Fielding last December. Canelo fought the following fighters in catchweight contests in the past: Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Floyd Mayweather Jr., Ezrealanda Lara, Miguel Cotto, James Kirkland, Amir Khan, Matthew Haddon, Alfredo Angulo. It might not be a big deal for Kovalev to handle to 185-pound rehydration limit for the morning of the fight, but as he was accustomed to those when he held the IBF light heavyweight title from 2014 to 2016. That was 3 years ago when Kovalev last dealt with one of the IBF second-day weigh-in checks, and it might be a little tougher for him now that he's 36 years old. And not that the spring chicken that he once was. It's too bad boxing allow fighters to use their A-side pool to add rehydration clauses and catch weights in the contracts for their fights, because this can give them an advantage over their B-side opponents. Weight checks and penalties aren't used in the NFL and NBA. The fans wouldn't put up with it if a team used their pool to have their teams keep their weight down for a catch weight or secondary weight checks. Man, this is typical of Canelo Alvarez. Whatever kind of advantage that he can get over his opponents, that's what he does. I have named the fighters, that he pulled that same thing on. Julio Cesar Chavez, they were supposed to fight at 168 pounds, but I think he made him come down to 164.5, if I'm not mistaken. Floyd Mayweather, he suggested that they fight at 152 pounds. I'm not really sure about Lara and Cotto, but I know the fights was supposed to be at 154, but knowing him, he probably had to move up to 155 pounds. I know in the James Kirkland fight, it was rumored that in his contract he wasn't that he couldn't hire his trainer Ann Wolf to train him. I'm not sure with Matthew Haddon. I know, if I'm not mistaken, Angulo fought him at like 155, 156. So this is the thing that Canelo do. He's known for catch weights and rehydration clauses in his contracts. Recently, Like I just read, he did Daniel Jacobs the same way, but Daniel Jacobs, he took the penalty. So it is what it is, man. I mean, he do what he can to get advantage. I mean, whatever he can do to get an advantage over all his opponents, he would take that chance and do it. He has never fought a fighter. I mean, well, I'm not gonna say he never fought a fighter straight up, because I'd be lying. But whatever advantage he can use, he would use it, and it's wrong. But he's allowed to do it because he's so Canelo Alvarez. They say that he's earned the right to do it, just like he earned the right to duck great fighters at 154 and 160. So it's seems he's gonna get a pass with this one too. It is what it is, man. Shout out to both fighters. I mean, may the best man win. I really can care less who win this fight Saturday night. So it is what it is. It's just boxing. Don't forget to subscribe, like or hate. Smash that bell icon to get notification of all new videos that's coming your way. It's just boxing, and I'm out. Peace.